Coach, thank you. Just a stone's throw from historic Monument Circle in downtown Indianapolis. We are at the beautiful Lucas Oil Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Indianapolis Colts. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. First down, Brissett. And his first look is incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. But it's going to be second down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Here we go. Check 52.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Brissett on first down. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, right at the 40. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. On second down, it's Mack, and he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, saying, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
On the set. 40's Mike right there. 40's Mike. Hey, let's get in that hole. Check 37. Check 37. Looks great.
Brissett under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Joe Schobert able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Mike, 53.
After the sack on first down, Brissett. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line.
Keep doing it.
Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. That's out to Chubb, complete. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. To throw, Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And nothing but daylight ahead. 30, the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, touchdown number 18 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
What we got?
Brissett sets to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jannard Avery in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
To throw, Brissett. He's going to go deep for Funchess. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Check, cross. Jet bombers,
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down.
Hey, alert!
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Spins by. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go!
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Brissett nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. third and long for Brissett. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain of 22. First catch of this game, a big one. Of course, he had the big performance last week when he was AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, but that was so last week, wasn't it? I mean, look at what he's doing now. I think he's trying to exceed what he did in that game and continue to ascend in this season.
They'll run on first down. Mack. And they're going to him him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
65.
Throwing on 2nd down. Brissett, he's going to go deep for Funchess. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there for Indy. 44 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Eric Ebron, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Mayfield off the play fake. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. It got his man complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. It's a big play there for the Browns. 52 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
At the Colts 31-yard line.
20. Hey, we're 33. Up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike 37. Ready?
from the gun, Mayfield. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 14. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. A run for Nick Chubb. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Set, 180. Check, 47. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check, 21.
They'll give it to Chubb. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
You got it. You got it.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And it's now 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against? So the face mask gets him a free 15 to start the drive. From the gun, here's Brissett. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Demarius Randall. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Chubb on first down, not going to go anywhere as he'll lose 3 on that one. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Mayfield now. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. That's caught inside the 20. A big play that time for Cleveland. 55 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They run. Chubb. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. A give running right is Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now the set. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. They'll throw now on the final play. Looking for Campbell downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. That'll be taken in the end zone.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Gerald McCoy in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack.
Run. Point it right. Hey, dude.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. He's got a man. Complete. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. That's
fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Throwing, Brissett. It's caught by Funchess. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
That's a gain of 10. Brings us 3rd and 13.
53, check 53. I got wide.
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
Second and 9. At the 34-yard line.
They run it again with Chubb. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hey, alert 33.
Mayfield on play action. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Set, 180. 37. You better be. Real. You better. General West.
On the carry, it's Chubb. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland 1st.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
King. We're going 37's to Mike. Mike 37. I'm coming for you.
Mayfield looks to throw. And he's got the hook up to Landry. A good pickup there, a 22. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll run with Chubb, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb, his 21st touchdown of the season, as his guys continue to pour it on. Seibert on for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Makes the score Browns 42, Colts 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They go right back to Mack. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down.
Let's pick it up.
To throw is Brissett. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. One quarter remains here in Week 16. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And just shedding him off there. It'll be a 48-yard punt, 5 there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we can probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
The Browns on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This is 3rd and 11.
Recon, 132 fighter. 47's the mic, boy, 47.
Now Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 27-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Here we go.
Brissett now. Catch made here by Campbell. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun, Brissett. Funches has it complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. Brissett. Caught left side by Funches. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now this is Hilton on the receiving end. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Gonna give this time to the tailback, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Wakefield. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And they take a knee.
A loss of a yard on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Let's go, Let's go, 180. Mike 27. Coming.